Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna do a part two to what I did yesterday. Now, I'm gonna go back to these x-rays right here, which make up the astral body. And in Egyptian history, culture of the gods, you got the Ra, the Ba, the Ka, and the Sa. Now this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, first, second, third, and fourth heaven, which bring about the first, second, third, fourth frequencies in a soul or a life. Let's call it the breath of life. The breath of life is what this is. The breath of life. You have alpha radiation, beta, gamma, and X-ray radiation. Okay? So you have these photons that make up the astral body, and also the photons that make up the outline of a ghost. The outline of a ghost. Now these photons take the shape just like a picture of its form, and it holds that form because when you die, it's called the silver lining, or a thread of life maybe, but this bounds you to your body until it rots. Now this right here is the astral body. When it leaves the material body, your astral body keeps the shape through the photons. Okay? So the astral can separate also from the body while it is alive. And this is how the consciousness splits. Just like when the first consciousness, the word moved across the faces of the water. Well, when it created light. Okay, you had light, you had consciousness in total darkness, and out of that, Lucifer. So the word which is consciousness itself, cause energy follows thought. Energy follows thought, and thought began creating through light, Lucifer, and darkness. Now in this darkness was matter, in this darkness was water, but there was no life whatsoever. So this brought life, the animating life, the spirit, the soul, whatever you want to call it. And it also brought the bad. Because this already existed without form, and it was void. So when that light was created, you got all these different types of radiation waves, rays. And you guys seen that movie Godzilla? Now you had Godzilla, the big old monster. You got a big old monster. I ain't no artist, okay? I don't know. This big old monster here with these little arms. It's big old feet, you know. Anyway, you had Godzilla with these spikes on his back, but he glowed radiation. He glowed radiation. He fed off of radiation. Godzilla did. Godzilla glowed off of radiation, and this is why. Because he didn't need food. He didn't need food because he drawed his energy from this, which is all these, or not all of them, but certain types of radiation in these waves. Now, this is how creation began also. When you got waters, you got matter, and you got light. All this right here, you got the breath of life, you got the body, and you got the blood. Now, all this right here, this trifecta, brought about a body with life in it, which involved the breath. Now, all this right here mixed together with this light, you have all these different types of waves and radiations and all these impulses and magnetisms and everything. So you have to understand all these waves and rays have sound, have a sound. It's some kind of frequency. And I've said this over and over and over and over again on my 555 channel. Every sound has a shape. Every sound has a shape. Now, the form of man was made through all these waves and raves and frequencies and sounds and shapes come together and started creating, because it already had what you call plasma, which is where all the platelets and chromosomes or whatever was found in the matter or in the waters, whichever, and then you got the breath of life. So all these sounds, all these frequencies, all these rays and waves made shapes, started forming. They started forming. All frequency has sound, all sound has a shape, and all shape mixed with all this, brings about this. Now, you have to understand all this right here are angels. Angels, ladies and gentlemen. Angels. This is your angels, not some little guy with wings on his back. No, that's hogwash. Angels are energy. Angels are types of energies. Matter of fact, all these right here, all these different colors coming out of the aurora borealis, all these energies right here, all these are angels, ladies and gentlemen, trapped in, they are trapped in crystal, which contains nitrogen, which is the key holder. It retains data. It retains data, which is energy. Energy, nitrogen, there you go. That's the key right there. Nitrogen is the key to retaining these elements. Now, these lights come in different phases, like the gates right here between them, between the colors. These are your gates. And this is what you call out of phase with each other, because they cannot touch each other. Because they are out of phase, they're on a different nanometer. They are measured differently in different lengths of light above or below our visible light scale.